Okay, so the last video is showing you where to use your keywords once you've found them. Now, some of you may know this already, and if so, you don't necessarily have to watch this video, but I thought it would be helpful, particularly if you're new to blogging, because you might think, well, okay, I've got the keyword, what on earth am I going to do with it? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you one that I've already created, but it will just show you where to insert that keyword when you're putting your blog post together. And we're going to use this one, Mother's Day blog post ideas, because it's got fairly good volume. I know that it's already ranking quite well, but I will show you within my site where I use those keywords. So let me take you over to my site, Niche Life Success. And as you can see, 10 Mother's Day blog post ideas your readers will love. So we're just going to edit this. So remember the keyword Mother's Day blog post ideas, okay? So you'll see that obviously the keyword is in that title. Sorry, it slows down a bit when I'm recording. It's just going to open up. So the very first thing is that our keyword must be in our title. And it should be as close to the beginning of the title as you can get it. Now, obviously, that's not always possible. If you need help with blogging title ideas, I will say that I use ChatGPT, not necessarily for writing the whole blog post, although it can do that, but sometimes giving you some different ideas that people will like can be super helpful. So I am going to do a different training on ChatGPT, so watch out for that coming up in the hub. But for now, just say if you need some ideas, then ChatGPT can help you, and you can just tell it what your base keyword is, and then it will give you some different ideas. I'm sorry this is so slow. I think it's because it gets caught up when we're recording. Let me just refresh that and see if it'll open up. It usually opens up within seconds, but of course, right now it's taking its time. Don't let me down. Don't fail me now. Obviously, as I was going to say, if you have questions about this video or any of them in the series, then do leave them below. I am more than happy to answer questions and to help you out. I want this hub to be a really supportive place where you can get to know others, but you can also get direct support from me. So never be afraid to ask or to, join in the community areas. Okay, so you can see my keyword is Mother's Day blog post ideas. That is my keyword, and that is where it's important to get it into as many of these things, these places that I'm going to talk about as possible. Firstly, super important, it needs to be in the title. So craft your title around your keyword, and as I say, make it as close to the start of the title as you can. So what I mean by that is Mother's Day blog post ideas your readers will love, rather than your readers will love these Mother's Day blog post ideas. That needs to be close to the start as possible. The other place that I put it is in the first paragraph, Mother's Day blog post ideas. You can see it there. And I also make sure it is in the last paragraph. So the title, the first and last paragraph, and then get it in where you can, but do not stuff it in as many places as needs to be. I will often put it in one of the H2, so one of my subtitles again, and I just sometimes put it just as the list. So Mother's Day blog post ideas. It doesn't have to be too complex, basically, but you want to get it in where it's natural to get it in. But my non-negotiables are the title, one of the subheadings, the first and the last paragraph. So that's 4 times. Does depend on the length of your blog post. If you had a very long blog post, 2,000 words or something, you probably want to put it in a few more times. But that is basically where I include it. Now, the next important thing is to write your meta description. Now, I use Yoast SEO for my all my SEO in my site. There are others. There's one called Rank Math. These are free plugins that you can use. I've just always used Yoast SEO. I think there's one called All-in-One SEO. That's quite good too. I just like Yoast. People will tell you different things about which plugins are better, but because I've used it for a long time, I just like the way it works. So I'll stick with this. You can use whichever plugin you want to. The plugin itself is not the important part. It is making sure that you put your meta description in each post. So when you come down to Yoast or any of them, they're all going to be very similar. It's going to ask you for your focus key phrase. So make sure that you put your keyword in there, Mother's Day blog post ideas. Then the other important thing is here, make sure Mother's Day blog post ideas is in your meta description. Now, a meta description is what shows up when someone types your keyword in, and you get all the results. On the first page of Google, you get like the title of the blog post or whatever it is, it could be a product, and then you get a little bit of text underneath. It's basically your little advert to say, oh, come over and read my blog post because I'm giving you exactly what you're looking for. So in this case, I'm giving them Mother's Day blog post ideas. That's what they're searching for. So by putting it in the actual section here, then you are reinforcing with Google, this is what my blog post is about. It's in my title, it's in the body of the post, and here I'm telling you, look, I've got these great Mother's Day blog post ideas for people who are looking for that. So again, put it in as your targeted keyword and then put it in your meta description. You should see, if you've done everything right, that Yoast then goes green. If you haven't done anything right, it will be red. That will be when you first come down here because you've not set anything up. Then it can go amber and then it can go green, which is what you're looking for. And down here, it will tell you some things, problems. And if you're struggling to go from amber to green, it will tell you some extra things. Like sometimes it will say, you've only used the keyword 4 times in a post of this length, you need to use it 5 times. Then you can go back to your text and maybe try and find another place where you can put it in. Sometimes it will tell you your keyword is not in your title. Make sure it's in your title. Now, once it's gone green, I do not worry about everything else. I'm not gonna try and get every single thing perfect. I get as much done as I can. I try to make it go green. Sometimes, if I'm really struggling, I leave it on amber. At the end of the day, getting the post out is more important. So don't tie yourself up in knots. You're doing the best you can. You're finding a good keyword. You're using it in the right places on your blog. And then you are putting it into Yoast or whichever keyword plugin that you use. And then you are pressing publish. Now, obviously, I'm going to be doing a lot more on ways to help you to make the most of every blog post that you do. So there's a lot of training coming up inside the hub. So watch out for that. I've also got some products that are already out there that you might find helpful. So I'll be sharing those from time to time. That's it for this mini training. If you've got specific questions that I can answer in a video, I'm quite happy to add additional videos or ask your question and I will answer it in text format, whatever is the easiest way, so you don't feel stuck. You don't feel like you're sort of flailing around not knowing what to do next. Thanks for watching this training, and I'll see you in a new training very soon.